So, guys, I'm really loving Volume 8, but what is it going to take for these people to finally realize that they need to take Ironwood out? Hi, guys. My name is Maria Park, and this is Approach the Nerd. And in this episode, we are reviewing RWBY Season or Volume 8, Episode 10, entitled Ultimatum. Great episode. A lot of highly annoying things happen, which means it's a great episode. So here we go. Everybody's rocked by an explosion. It's not from the payload because Winter and her team didn't have a chance to set theirs off. Actually, at the end of the last episode, we saw that Salem was being held by Hazel, and of course, Oscar was getting ready to attack using the long memory. And he does, and it causes this crazy explosion that it's seen from everybody's point of view. It's actually a very cool scene. We even get a little Caesar photosensitivity warning at the beginning of the episode, which is needed. That's a lot of light flashes. But we do see that Oscar and Team Yang and Emerald have survived. We don't see Hazel, so we're assuming he's dead. We're assuming Salem is either dead, but she's probably not, or hurt. But Monstra is completely destroyed. Side note, Crow and Robin have also escaped from prison. When Cinder went and broke Arthur out, she basically blew a hole in the prison, and so they were able to escape. They did manage to get Weiss's father back, but Ironwood doesn't care about him, so no big deal. But he is freaked over the fact that Crow is gone. So there's that. Speaking of Oscar, he does finally come clean to Team Yang that Ozpin is not only back, but he was the reason he was able to survive being tortured because he took it for Oscar. He also explains about all the energy that Oz stored into his walking stick or the long memory over the years, and that's how he was able to do the attack that destroyed Monstra. And apparently it's not all of the energy, but most of it. So that's interesting because I know in the past we never really knew how much energy was in the long memory and what its capabilities were. So that's actually pretty cool. He also wants Team Yang to give Emerald a chance, like a second chance. He's like, you don't have to forgive, but just give a second chance. Same spill he's giving about trying to give a second chance to Ozpin. So it's really hard for Yang considering what happened in the past, but they're taking steps towards that. And I like how Ren was looking at her to see, using his new semblance to see her aura. I don't know, I thought that was really cool that she had these pink petals flying around. I will say Ren's power is pretty. It's one of the prettiest semblances that I like. I like seeing visually what Ren sees. It's very cool. So let's move on to Cinder and Arthur. So Cinder has Arthur on the roof, and she wants to know how he's going to bring Penny to her so she can take her powers. And I love this. I love the interaction between them because Arthur talks down to her like he's not scared of Cinder. And Cinder is unstable as hell. I love how he baits her and how he's like, you're a dimwit. And then she has him she basically has him leaning over the side of the building saying, I'm going to watch you plummet to your death. And then I'm going to burn a path to the vault and wait for Penny to show up. And he's like, you know what? Every plan that you have come up with from, from Raven, and he's just going down the list of all the failures that Cinder's had, has been because you don't do your job, basically implying she's just a freaking idiot. And it looked like she was about to burn him alive, like flay him alive. And she ends up dropping him and then sitting on the edge of the roof. And it even looked like she was, crying a little bit. So he used her own insecurity and self-loathing, because I've always said Cinder has this against her. And that's why I always ask this question, is Cinder a redeemable character? Because she's done a lot of nasty things, but I've always wondered if she's really redeemable. I still want to know, so please put that in the comments. I'm very curious on people. I've asked, I did an interview with Maria's voice actress, Melissa Sternenberg, and I asked that question, and I got a really interesting response. So I really want to know what people think about Cinder, if she could be a redeemable character. Like Emerald's murdered people, and she not on the level of Cinder, but sometimes for Cinder. And it looks like they're trying to do a little redemption arc for Emerald. So maybe they can do the same thing for Cinder on a higher scope, but I don't know if she's a character that has that. So I really want to know what people think about that. But yeah, Neo has the lamp and she texts Cinder And she says, you know what, you owe me, basically, you know what I want. If you want to know the lamp's name, basically, or the name of the lamp, which of course is Jin, you know, you know what I want. So I'm really interested to see that interaction. But I kind of figured she was taking that lamp for Cinder. I said that in my last review, not for any type of loyalty, but because she's basically doing what Salem, or Cinder, what Cinder does for Salem, is basically just biding time to get what she wants. And that's basically what it is. That's their relationship. So I thought that was really interesting. I love the cute scene with Team RWBY and Team Yang. First, they are talking to each other, they call each other right after the explosion. So, Blake gets to see Yang, and, they pretty much establish that they're alive, and then they tell them how to get to them. And, en route, they do see that most of Atlas is underground right now because of all the Grimm and the attacks. So I love the scene with all of them reuniting, because like RWBY running to Yang was adorable. Then she hugs Weiss. I thought that was really cute. But the scene between Yang and Blake, if you didn't think there was something going on between this couple before, you have, heteronormative problems, because nobody goes up to their friend like that and blushes and grabs their face and hugs them and puts their foreheads together like that. They are a couple. I don't even know what ships I have in this series. I love RWBY, but I've never really thought about it. I just haven't. But this has established for me that there is not, between a reasonable doubt in my mind, that Blake and Yang are not a couple, because they are. That's just what it is. I'll fight you on it. It is what it is. But I love that whole interaction. I love that Ren says, "Where is Nora?" But we don't get to see them reunite. And it kind of irritated me, because I really wanted Ren and Nora to have that moment, but they didn't get it, because unfortunately, Ironwood is losing his damn mind. Like, he's losing it. He doesn't know how to save Atlas. He's at the end of his rope. He can't find Penny. He's like losing his shiz. And so when Winter comes back, first he's like, "Oh, we're going to use Team Yang as leverage for Penny. If we threaten her friends, then surely she'll come back and save what's left of Atlas." And then here comes Harriet, the person I hate the most in RWBY, the person that I hope actually dies in this series. I'm sorry, guys. I never wish for character deaths. I repeat, I cannot stand this character. I cannot stand her. She is the person I want to smack the hell out of every time she opens her mouth and every time I see her on screen. And first thing that Harriet did was open her damn mouth again and say, "Well, our Agent Winter let them go. They let them go on the board to save their friend." I mean, she was so happy to volunteer that information. Just like when he said that Crow had escaped, how she was like already getting ready to go. I'm like, you know what? I don't have time for you. I want a spin-off series where just people just take turns just beating the crap out of Harriet. That would be enjoyable for me. Write that as a side story or something. I'm cool with that. Sorry, I digress. But so yeah, Ironwood's mad because he doesn't have that as leverage, but he realizes they brought the payload back. And so while he's like losing his stuff, he breaks the console saying, "I've got nothing." He gets a call and they're like, "Oh, they're non-military ships coming in." And you see that they're cargo ships from the Sneeve, company. And then he's like, "It's always been about Mantle." And as soon as he said that, I was like, "Ah, crap." These ships are going to save people, but because he's so single focused, all he cares about is saving Atlas, that he decides to use that as leverage to get Penny. So he's going to drop a bomb on Mantle unless Penny, basically comes back and does her duty. And he starts shooting down the ships that could save people's lives. And it's such a sad scene, because May calls the girls and he's like, "You sent, those cargo ships you're sending, they're not alone." And then you see that her saying, "Run for the, the cave." It's just a sad scene to me. And it just makes me really want Ironwood and Harriet to be trapped in a building with a bomb and it just goes off with the payload. I would be okay with that. I literally be okay. I would absolutely 100%. I would rather Emerald be redeemed and become a very important ally to Team RWBY and co. than have Harriet have life in this series. No offense, I'm a voice actor, so I know I don't want the voice actress for Harriet to be out of work, but they can find something else for her. Harriet is a useless waste of space, so they can just get rid of her. I'm venting, guys. I'm sorry. But back to Ironwood, I am very irritated that he is literally preventing innocent people from being saved because of his pride, because that's all boiling down to his pride. His pride has made him a sociopath. It's why he was able to shoot a council member. He's out of his mind. And I don't know what it's going to take for Winter to see that Ironwood needs to be put down like the Cujo that he is, because he needs to go. So yeah, good episode. I was in my feelings in this episode because it's just, like I said, a lot of annoyances happened, and that means it's a good series for me to get this worked up. So I am very happy with the story. I'm very happy with what's happening. Volume 8 probably is my favorite volume so far. I really am enjoying this a lot. I know we were supposed to get this episode last week, but because of all the power outages and stuff in Texas, we didn't get to, so, which is understandable. So I'm really glad, because I didn't think we might get it this week. So I'm glad that they were able to release this episode, and I am very excited for episode 11. But yeah, stuff went down, guys. If I forgot something, which is possible, let me know in the comments, and also let me know what you guys think. And what do you think is going to happen? Do you think Penny is going to turn herself in, which more than likely Penny's self-duty and protectiveness of Mantle and her friend, she probably is gonna do it. I don't know what's gonna happen with Cinder when she gets Jin. That's gonna be a mess, because the girl is unstable right now. I don't know. I just have these desires, and just as I said, I'll stress again, Ironwood and Harriet being taken out this season would be epic for me. And that would be so epic for me. I'd be like a cherry on top of every dessert you love. So, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And if you would like to sign up for jury duty, hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to know who's next on Nerd Bell, hit the notification bell. Until next time, I can't wait for you to approach the nerd. Bye, guys.
Thank you for watching my video. I really appreciate it, but hey, the party doesn't have to stop now. Click on one of these videos and keep it going.